Okay, this video is called What is a Carcinogen? And I'm going to start out with a warning. This is an AO, academic orgasm, all right? The old thinking on carcinogen was that they were a mutagen, meaning that they cause a mutation in the DNA. A change in the DNA, so a change in the manner of DNA replication or the frequency of it, leading to cancer. You can do an Ames test to see if something causes a mutation, but let me tell you why I think this is uncommon and even often bogus. Because cancer is not a single mutation. Cancer is hundreds of changes in gene expression. So the new idea here is that, little extra line space there, is a mitochondrial toxin. This makes far more sense. And this goes with the metabolic theory of cancer. The old way of thinking is based on the SMT, somatic mutation theory of cancer. That's what's in all the books. That's what all the oncologists go by. But if you actually study biochemistry, pathophysiology of cancer, you will see that the metabolic theory of cancer makes much, much sense. If you're interested in reading a book that's a good introduction to the concept of the metabolic theory of cancer, Tripping Over the Truth by Travis Christofferson is a very good book. Okay, Thomas Seyfried, the guy who talks a lot on YouTube, he did a lot of good research on the subject. I don't think he knows what he's talking about with regard to nutrition, but he's very good when he talks about metabolic theory of cancer. Anyways, what Warburg had shown, Otto Warburg won Nobel Prize back in 1931, was that hypoxic injury to mitochondria causes cells to change to primarily anaerobic metabolism. So he thought it was an irreversible mitochondrial injury leading to anaerobic metabolism. Okay, so now that's quite interesting. And we usually think of that mitochondrial injury being due to hypoxia. But if you've seen my previous lecture on mitochondrial inhibitors, there were none listed in all the standard college and medical school biochemistry textbooks and nutrition biochemistry textbooks. However, I knew there had to be more, so I started looking them all up in the journals and whatnot. I found over 100 mitochondria inhibitors, and the situation gets worse than that because anaerobic bacteria have different endotoxins than do aerobic bacteria. The ones associated with root canals can have more of something called thioethers and mercaptans. The point I'm making is these are mitochondrial inhibitors, and there's an oncologist, Dr. Issels, who believes that that's a major reason why, in his opinion, he thinks they're contributing to cancer. And the point I'm simply making is, if you want to lower the risk of cancer, it would be a smart idea to avoid mitochondrial inhibitors. Also, mitochondrial inhibitors decrease the function of the immune system, so they decrease your abilities to remove cancer cells. Anyways, this is still a huge concept. That the problem is not DNA mutation. The problem is injury to mitochondria. And the reason why it's such a big deal is there are literally over 100 things, and many of them very common. Many of them are common drugs. You can see it in all my mitochondrial lectures that injure the mitochondria. And if this thing that is toxic to mitochondria is constant and ongoing, it would seem reasonable to think that this is likely contributing to an increased incidence of cancer. Trust me, this is big. What I'm telling you here is big. It really improves the ability to think about cancer prevention in a major way.